as I talked about earlier, this is a kata built on time. The timing being that, yeah, you're caught on this reflex of this back foot rising as the attack's coming in, so you're a little late. In the general thing, as the man's coming at you to throw a hand at your face or what have you, you prefer to be right there with him. You prefer to be right on time, just as his attack comes out, your attack is to come out, and boom, you have wonderful application. That's your preference. Or, if you can, if your psychic hotline is working and your meditative mind is cooking and your Fudo Shin and whatever, you'd kind of like, actually, just to get him before his attack comes off. I mean, that would be even nicer, you know. Doesn't always work out for you, but if you can, that's even better. But this last condition, oh, you're a little late, which, you know, like every other damn thing in life, when you're just a little late, you know, well, shit, the appointment, I'm 2 minutes late, and everything goes out the window because the guy's pissed off because you're late, you know. Late is a little tougher. And Owaza Japan is about being late. We are responding a little late in time. He's a little closer, he's a little tighter, and we're coming off of a foot condition that we prefer not to have been in, actually, to begin with. And one of the things that happens in that foot condition is very common, that I'm walking along, and as the thing happens, my weight's gone down, his pressure comes in, and I don't even get to swing it forward at all. The back foot picks up in an attempt to swing forward, and whoa, it's forced backward. You have this bum's rush kind of thing that takes over, where you're sort of being overwhelmed in a backward line. Now, you could also decide to step backward, and that's cool too. And in kata, you decide to step backward, but you need to sort of understand why it would occur. It's not a preferred idea, and that's basically because you don't know what's back there. It could be nothing, or it could be something. And in the default state of something, when you step back and you step over a curb, or you step back and you're on the child's toy, or you step back and it's a hole in the ground, or it's a wall, or a fire plug, or all kinds of things, you put that foot back, and wow, it's a surprise. And that's one thing you don't need. You already got a surprise coming at you up the front. You don't need the extra surprise. But you got to live under the condition where sometimes you are forced into the extra surprise, and then you live with it. There is a way to get away with the backward step to make it cool for self-defense application, but you sort of have to see stuff coming. And that is, oh, he's mouthing off at me over there. He's a bad guy, and I'm starting to get the vibe, you know, uh-oh. And so I take my one step back now, because I want to take it when I can get surprised and not have to encounter the guy, and then shift back forward. So I just look like I'm shuffling around. But basically, I've just gauged my space. I take my back step before he ever gets involved physically with me. And if I've done that, and I have a fairly certain feel for that, okay, my foot's not going to go over a curve, my foot's not going to land in a hole in the ground, you know, presuming the kid doesn't put the Hot Wheels race car under your foot the next time you put it back there, your higher probability is cool, because you've already scoped it out. You've already measured the territory with your feet. Now it's not bad, not a bad option. And in fact, it has some big advantages, because the back step will automatically stretch him out and cause him to elongate and get into worse problems. But that's a special case. When it happens spontaneously and unplanned, it tends to be that you're mid-stride and suddenly he's on you and whoa, everything's going backward all of a sudden. And you're having to take that damn step and live with it anyway. So just kind of get it in your head of why that step would be going on. Cool? Because normal humans don't walk around like this in life too much. And we don't have eyes back there. You know, this is not normal. This is a very weird, you see guys at the track sometimes, you know, and athletes will learn to do it, and people can learn to do it, but it is a really weird thing to do. Normal human movement is all forward. Even sideways really doesn't make much sense. You can do it, but this is the efficient thing. That's the thing all the nervous system and all your reflexes are built around. And all the other conditions, sideways and backwards, aren't so cool. You're working at a deficit automatically when you do it. So, in this back step that happens, we're going to pull off two basic techniques depending on how we're encountering what's going on. One of them, we're on the inside and we're dropping back and we're catching. So we're basically left feeding right. So at the moment where you're pushed back, we're just making a change from our mirror side to our cross side. And off of that basic condition, we're then going to ride it up and move away from it now. And that's a functional shianagi. We're not hanging on and trying to crank the wrist or do anything exciting to it. We're basically riding again. This drop, which takes him deeper than he planned, because we take that back step and really do something with it. And then on his ride, because he went lower than he planned, when he rises, it'll be a little more extraordinary, and I get a ride out from under the arm and get away from the bait. So it's really sort of like bailing out. It's really just a moment of control, and then get rid of it. Cool. Well, what if he doesn't fall? Well, great. At least now you know you got somebody on your ass. And you can get a better plan than walking backwards. But you've survived the back step, and that's hopefully what it's teaching you to be able to do. Cool.